everybody. So it's Wednesday on my channel, which means it's time for another Shimelle Sketches Reimagined. This is the sketch we're going to be working with. It's sketch 25. And it has one photo with a little bit of text on it, some fun little squares, and a couple embellishment clusters, and some journaling at the bottom. I'm going to be using this photo, which my brother-in-law is a little blurry in the background, but we're gonna go with it because it's a picture of my husband and my niece, and they were playing guitars together. Guitars are a big part of our lives, so there are lots of guitar pictures that need to be scrapbooked. For product, okay, so at the beginning of August, used Shimelle's link and I purchased her Best of Both Worlds kit. The reason behind it was that, number one, I have a really hard time working with Pinkfresh Studio products. There was a good amount in there, and I thought, well, this will help me kind of get an idea of how to work with their products, or to give me some good ideas. The other reason was because I always like to have a project or a thing that's kind of like hanging out in my scrap room that is for when I have a couple of minutes or an afternoon where I feel like creating, but I don't have any looming deadlines, and then I can just turn off my video. I don't need to worry about what products I'm using. I don't need to worry about, anything like that. This isn't for any kind of video series or anything. There's no constraints, and I can just kind of do what I want. And so I thought, well, I would follow along with some of Shimelle's sketches. In August, I was able to follow along with two of her sketches and or two of her layouts that she created live. I think they were both Facebook Lives that I kind of played along with, and I created two from her Best of Both Worlds kit. And I bought September's kit, and that's all well and good. But after those first two, work got busy, work got crazy, and so I've ended up with a lot of this kit that is still here and still going strong. And I could still go ahead and kind of kill it. I can kind of work with it more. So my plan is to leave this out of my desk, and instead of trying to follow along with Shimelle anymore, instead I'm going to move into the September sketch to follow along with her. I'm going to use it for some videos during the month of September. So it could be videos that are for Shimelle Sketches Reimagined. I could pull it in for my 80/20 or Quilter's Vibe or Stamping for Scrapbookers, any of my kind of video series, Stretch or Sketch, any of those things. So I'm just going to leave it here. I usually pull 3-4 kind of kits together for each month, and I leave them out and about, so I'm looking at them and know that they're there and that those are the kits I want to use for the month. And it usually includes like my scrapbooking store kit, my How to Kill a Kit with Style, whatever collection or products I'm working with at a cherry on top, whatever collection or products I've kind of most recently received from Christina at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And then this month I also pulled out, no, that's it. So those are the kits you're going to see me create with this month as I go through my videos. And so the first one is going to be today's. I'm going to pull out my Best of Both Worlds. So I bought some things, but I also pulled in some stuff from my stash. So I'm going to start working with that today. I'm going to use this sketch and this photo, and I am going to go through my Shimelle's Best of Both Worlds kit. This is August's kit. And see if I can get some more layouts out of this product, using it to shoot videos and things like that. That might be kind of how it works with her kits. I might get a layout or two done that I worked on with her during her Facebook Live, and then to kind of really use the product, I might start, and then I'll start to use them in videos. So, okay, let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start this layout by kind of flicking through this kit. I haven't used it since closer to the beginning of August. So I know I have scraps. I know I've created a couple layouts. I also know that I have a lot of this kit still left. So I'm just kind of reading everything, looking through everything, deciding what papers I want to use, what would be a good color match, and what would be a good match for my photo. I'm going to decide that this pretty Vicky Bouton paper is going to work as my background. I'm going to use the non-star side. And then I also have, so I have about 3 full sheets of paper plus that die cut piece. So we're definitely gonna have to pull in some white cardstock at some point. And I know Shimelle did that too. In fact, there's a couple techniques that she used that I really, really want to recreate as I work through this. So I'm gonna use that big green piece as my title. I'm gonna use lots of these little square cards, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use that Vicky Bouton piece to be my background. I'm also going to grab this, the one aqua colored paper. That's all I can think of. It's like aqua color. It has words on it. We're going to use that, but we're only going to use a tiny bit of it, and it's just going to be tomato photo. So I chose 6 of these little squares from Simple Stories Kate and Ash collection. And what I'm doing is I'm going to kind of cut them down. So I'm just trimming them down to 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 inch squares. My reason for doing that is because I want to make sure these are small enough that they're going to fit with a small border across my 6-inch photo. I want to make sure that I want to keep this page very, very linear, and then I want to be able to use my embellishments to kind of go out from those linear lines. So once I have all those little squares cut down, I'm going to ink them all up with some Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide ink. And then you can see here, initially I had cut this kind of aqua colored text paper 6.5 by 4.5, which is just going to be a little too big for what I want. So I'm going to trim it down to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then it's going to fit perfectly with my photos. So you kind of get the idea of what I'm going for here, right? I'm going to do those little squares on the boxes. And then we're going to add that larger journaling spot below all of our layers. So I'm just trimming this down now because I did think it was just a bit too wide. It was a little bit just too big of a mat. But I will tell you that when I put the photo down, you cannot really see the text. It's just going to look like that aqua color really, and that's totally fine. So here's where I'm going to grab my Distress Oxide ink in Hickory Smoke. And I'm just going to go through, I'm going to adhere my paper down to my mat, and then I'm going to go ahead and start inking up all these little boxes. Okay, so I'm going to get these lined up exactly where I want them, get an feel for how everything looks, make sure I like it, and honestly, I really, really do like it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Big Mama roll of tape, and my plan is to kind of start getting all of these things down. Now, I'm going to move my paper here because I want to make sure that I have things centered. And so the way that I'm going to kind of do that is I'm going to use my Tim Holtz Media Mat, the ruler that's on it, the grid ruler. I use that thing all the time. I swear it measures things better than my T-square ruler, which inevitably always tries to make my life crooked, which it shouldn't, right? Because it's a T-square ruler. And yet, here we are. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that little piece down there for my journaling. And now I'm going to pull out the Big Mama roll of tape. And I'm looking for something, probably my scissors. My scissors, I lose them. I lose them all over my room. So I decided to get my picture up before I really start working with those little squares, simply because I wanted to make sure that everything is centered. And I figured I was probably going to be moving stuff around, but if I get the journaling centered correctly, if I get the photos centered correctly, then I can just pop the squares up on foam tape, and I know I want them right on that line. And now we're going to get those Big Mama rolls of tape out, and I'm going to go ahead and get them in and popped up. If you're interested in my Big Mama roll of tape, I will make sure to grab the link from Amazon and put it down in the description box. Should you be watching this and you go in the description box and it's not there, leave me a comment, because you guys, I have Swiss cheese brain and I forget all the things. Okay, I'm just going to continue on here, popping up these adorable squares and getting them situated, and then we can work with titling and a few little embellishments. I'm going to use my emoji pen and my T-square ruler, and I'm going to use some journaling lines down here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling and do my date stamp before I do the title and the embellishments. I forgot that I put the journaling there, or that I had done the journaling at this part of the layout, but that's what I did. So now my journaling is finished and it's time to go ahead and start working on the title. My title is going to be Let's Play. And what I'm doing is for my Best of Both Worlds kit, what I did was I didn't buy the thickers that were in the kit. I went through my stash and I grabbed thickers that were like black and gold. The ones that Shimelle had put in the kit were gold. So I kind of just went with that. And I grabbed a lot of packs of thickers, but most of them are almost gone. And as soon as I run out of vowels or way to make vowels, that's when I consider a pack of thickers killed. So I had a couple here that were almost killed. And so I'm just going through to see which ones still have E's, which ones still have A's, which ones are going to work for the title that I know I want to create. So I ended up with these gold Fitzgerald thickers, which are the exact ones that were in the kit from Shimelle. And then I also grabbed these black foam thickers, and I'm going to use those two to create my title right across the photo, just like it is in the sketch. For my clusters, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a couple of the small stickers. I think I used the ones from mostly from Amy Tangerine's Picnic in the Park. The colors seem to work with the colors I had chosen to feature out of the kit. The Bloom Street ones are beautiful, but they're very pastel and light, lots of pinks and purples. And I kind of hadn't put much of any of those colors on this page. So I'm just going to grab a couple of the smaller stickers and use the smaller stickers to create my embellishment clusters. I'm just kind of looking for ways I can add like a little base layer and then maybe a little icon sticker or title sticker. And then we're going to go ahead and add some of those adorable doodlebug dots to the layout as well. I haven't used any of those doodlebug dots yet. They're so cute though. Okay, so I kind of am thinking about that little circle. There was this little like rainbow frame circle, which I thought would be really good. And then I could fill it in with an icon sticker, just up and tuck it underneath this little record player. So I used the strawberry, which says life is good, because the sentiment matched. The sentiment went really well. Andre would like to say hello to everybody. So wave everybody and say, hello, Andre. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to add this one together sticker from the Bloom Street collection to use for my third embellishment cluster. And then I'm going to find two kind of smaller icon stickers that I can cluster with those. So pretty much each of these embellishment clusters ends up with 2 or 3 stickers, and then we're going to go ahead and grab some of those beautiful enamel dots and add them. So there is one of the orangey colored dots on this pack that match perfectly, and we are going to go ahead and use those. So I'm just putting 3 little enamel dots onto each of my embellishment clusters, and that is going to finish this one up. I think this turned out so cute, and I am super excited that I just decided to go ahead and go for it with the Best of Both Worlds kit and get my kit really killed before I start in September. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!